You're watching The Edward Fowler Show. Now, here's your host, Edward Fowler.
Indeed. Welcome to the show live here on youtube.com on a Saturday afternoon or evening, depending where you're watching this from. And it is just gone the top of the hour. And tonight I've been joined by a guest who I've not actually reached out to. This person reached out to the info at edwardfowlershow.com. So I'm just plugging that because people will now know that there's an email on my description and also on my about page on YouTube. So it's not just a fake email, it's a legit email. And people can actually email me if you're a potential guest, just like this next guest of mine who has decided to contact me to see if they could come on this show. So we'll get into how they came across my content in a moment. But please welcome to the show the one and only, the Tropical George. Welcome to my show. It's nice having you on here from the tropical place you're at the moment. It's very blustery where you are joining me in your vehicle.
Yeah, it's a bit grey. Sorry about that. And hello, by the way, Edward. I hope you're keeping well.
I am.
And yes, I apologise for how dismal it looks. It's September in Mallorca. It's unpredictable. I just wish it could look better for you. I'm in a polo shirt, not a mankini.
Yeah.
So if that tells you anything about the weather now, it should tell you it's not what I hoped it would be.
Yeah, absolutely. But we're happy that you're here. You're safe. That's the main thing. And I'm hoping that the weather improves as the, I guess, afternoon goes on for you, or evening, as I say, because you're an hour ahead of me. So it's actually 6 o'clock. I'm guessing for you at the moment.
It is. It's just gone 6 p.m. So it's tapas time, I believe.
Right.
Locally.
So did you want us to do it at 6 o'clock my time, or not 6 o'clock my time? Do you want to do it at 5 o'clock your time or my time? Because I took it as 5 o'clock my time. So I apologise if you meant 5 o'clock your time.
No problem. Don't worry. It makes no difference to me, Edward, because I have got no commitments until 8 o'clock my time. So we have got buckets of time now.
Perfect. That's fine.
So don't worry.
So it goes into my first question, really, is what I was hyped a few moments ago. And thank you to everyone who's tuning in the YouTube live chat, because let's just show off this comment, this emoji from Cubus. Thank you so much for tuning in live on YouTube. If you do have a question for George, then please leave a comment live right now in the YouTube chat. And your chat comments may appear on the screen, as you can see with the emoji from Cubus responding to my live comment. Of course, Cubus wanted to know if you were playing the, I believe it was called the trombone. I could be wrong if that's a mispronunciation, but they were really wanting you to play that, the instrument, which I'm guessing you play all the time when you're performing.
Well, I play the tambourine when I'm on the stage. Not very well, I might add. I just sort of smack it and just hope for the best. Yeah. But yeah, I do a bit of tambourine.
Yeah. Have you got it with you tonight? Have you got it right now?
I haven't. No, it's in the venue.
There you go. That answers that question. That answers that question, Cooper. So
nothing on the live feed.
Yes. Which we like indeed. But going to the first question here tonight is really, I'm just intrigued, because you of course reached out to me by the email address on this channel, the info at edwardfowlershow.com. I'll plug it again. So how did you come across this content? Was it on Instagram? Was it through on YouTube? Or where did you come across my work?
Well, I'm part of a generation now, Edward, where, 2004 baby here, and TV is obsolete to me now. So the way I watch things is through the power of YouTube or social media, and all the time podcasts will come up and interviews. And when you find a podcaster that's as professional and as handsome as you just have to get on the show, don't you? You have to do whatever means necessary. So, yeah, I did use that info email in your bio. Yes. So for anybody watching who wants to come and join Edward on the show, it's a real email. It's not bootleg, and he will reply to you in about 10 minutes.
Yeah.
It took you about 10 minutes when I messaged you. So
Yes. Well, I know people have been emailing me through not just that email address, but the other email address which is associated to my website, which you now know. And there's a few people I need to get back to, but I've just been this week. But I will get back to those people in the next week to rebook some people, because I did have some people booked up this week, and I was a bit under the weather, so I've had to cancel those. And and get them rescheduled. So I will reach out to them and see if we can get them rescheduled. But yes, I did respond to you within 10 minutes from your email.
You did.
Well, it just shows you that I appreciate you reaching out and for wanting to be a guest on the show. And was it through YouTube where you saw this show, or was it through Instagram? And what was the video or clip you saw?
It was through Facebook initially, and it was when you interviewed Mark Shaw from Ben Jericho.
Ah, yes.
A couple of months back.
Yes, great guy.
I've known Mark for a few years. He's a lovely chap. And when that popped up, obviously I did a bit of stalking like we all do. Edward Fowler show. What's all he about? And oh crikey, he interviews everybody.
Yeah, I do.
Oh well, I'll throw my hat in the ring then. See if he wants to interview me.
Yeah. Well, you're more than welcome to do so. But yeah, there is no topic off the radar because of the fact that we have on musicians, bare knuckle fighters, wrestlers, singers. As I mentioned, we also have magicians, comedians on here. It's like a very much an open book. Broadcasters, journalists as well. We got to mention them as well. So it is a one-man shop where everything is not off the limits, basically. So more the merrier.
Absolutely, the Edward Fowler Variety Show.
Yes,
what a variety it is. So fair play to you.
Yeah, well, thank you. 6 years going, and I'm glad that people are finding this on Facebook, which I like because I feel like the Facebook side of things is a bit less noticeable than Instagram or YouTube type thing with my audience growing on those two platforms. But I'm glad that you found it that way. So I was just intrigued to know. I think you did mention that actually in your first email. Looking back at it now, and you did mention about Mark Shaw actually. So I'm glad that you enjoyed hopefully the conversation between myself and Mark Shaw on that night where we did that show. Talk to me about. Can you hear me? You okay? Can you still hear me?
Yeah, I've got crikey. Yeah, sorry. Carry on.
Yeah, that's good.
It's live TV, folks.
Yes.
These things are going to happen.
Yes.
But yeah, it was a brilliant conversation you had with Mark.
Perfect.
So,
Glad to
play.
hear.
Fair
Glad
play.
to hear. Well, hopefully I will live up to your expectations as we go along here as well. So talk to me right now. You're of course on I'm guessing you're on a business trip at the moment. Performing in the lovely Caribbean, as you mentioned before, in the tropical places, and that goes with your name, obviously. And I mean, have you always dreamed of getting these types of opportunities, or was there a different goal when you first started that you want to achieve? It's actually now has been kind of segued into where you are today.
Well, to be perfectly honest with you, there was no plan when it comes to DJing or entertainment or nothing. I just started DJing when I was 17. Back in 2022, and it was just a bit of beer money at the weekend when I was in college, and then one thing led to another. It got busier and busier, and I got the opportunity in 2023 to go and work at the Pontins Park and be a bluecoat.
Perfect.
And that was when the journey started going, and that's what got me to Mallorca as well.
Yes.
Because I'd always dreamed of being a Pontins bluecoat from being a kid, because from a single parent family, I lost my dad very young, so our holidays were Pontins and bus holidays, travel style, sun voucher holidays. That's what we did. So the Pontins bluecoats were like heroes to me when I was younger. So we always wanted to be one, and then when I got the chance to audition, I made it to the park. I worked with Pontins for a couple of months, and then my contract with Pontins got wrapped up earlier than I hoped it would. And then the road took me to Mallorca, and here we are 2 seasons strong, and I'm still here entertaining the masses.
And you're so enjoying it as well, which is the main thing.
Absolutely.
Good. So I'm glad you were able to take up one of those big goals of yours early on then in your career. And I feel like you mentioned as well at the start of this that you were a 2004 baby.
Yeah, sorry if that frightens you.
No,
I'm 21 now.
Yeah, you're 21.
It frightens me as well.
Yeah, you're 21. So I was 5 in 2004, depending what month you were born in. So there you go. That's also my age. I feel a bit old hearing that. But yeah. So I'm glad you're now at a good limit. Means you can now pretty much go anywhere in the world, and you can get as drunk as you like if you wanted to, and do whatever now
Oh
at age of
yeah.
21. So so you got a lot more responsibility than you did at 18, depending what country you go to, which is quite good. But I mean, it's a joy, and you're DJing as well, and I bet that's a cool gig to get involved in. And I guess you got your own DJ equipment, or do you just use whatever's available when you get booked at these events, or?
Well, to be honest with you, any DJs watching this will probably not consider me a real DJ because I don't have one of these mixers that everybody uses. I don't bother with any of that. Everything that I need is on virtual DJ on the computer program that I use. I'm not like Darren Styles or David Guetta. I'm not doing crazy mixes. But if you want someone to chat a load of rubbish on the microphone and play "Come On Eileen" for you, I can do that, no problem.
Okay, perfect. That's good to know.
And that's about where my DJing skills go.
Is there anything, I guess, regarding DJing to get those skills up there, and like those other great legends you just mentioned, like David Guetta and others, to be able to maybe do some more mixing and do those sort of things, or those mixing decks, I think they're called, on those lines, to increase your exposure? Because at the moment on social media, I don't know if you see these, but a lot of people are doing many mixes and all sorts and going viral.
Yeah. Oh, they are. It's crazy, and you see people complaining all the time on the web now, especially older DJs, who I personally relate to more because for a 2004 baby, I am not very tech savvy at all. Yeah. To give you a reference, we started this at 5 p.m. your time, Edward.
Yes.
I was ready on Zoom at 4:30, just in case I couldn't work out how to use the program.
That's completely fine, because I feel like to say it's better to be early than not, and running late. So we like your enthusiasm, and of course your, I guess, proactiveness to make sure you're here on time for the show to begin, because I get many people
to make sure I know how to use the program as well.
Yeah.
Because I'm absolutely rubbish.
I mean, I'm sure when you got on it, you were like, well, it's pretty easy, more than I probably expected. I bet.
Much easier than I expected, luckily. But this is why I relate more to older DJs, because they're not as tech savvy. They're not up on the big controllers and the new tracks and everything. And I'll play new music if my clients want me to, or if the dance floor demands it. But, I'm an 80s boy at heart. If I can stay in the 80s on my DJ set, I will. And you see it all the time on the web, older DJs complaining, saying, oh, DJing isn't about the music anymore, or about the art form. It's about social media following and how popular you are and how many hundreds of thousands of followers you've got. And I get that to a degree. And it is a shame, because I do think the art of DJing is dying quite a bit, especially when you see people pretending to DJ with a USB stick of a mix that they've made 2 weeks before, and they're just pretending to mix it all in front of a live audience. But it's just, the world's changing. It's a sign of the times. So at 21 years young, why can I complain?
Yes, but I mean, you do have a good following now on social media. You got over 480 followers on Facebook and over 660 followers on Instagram. So you're doing something, right?
I don't do too bad.
No, you don't.
I could do better.
Yeah.
And I've had loads of people tell me this season, oh, you need to join TikTok. You'll do really well on TikTok. Well, I'll tell you, Edward, I joined TikTok and I couldn't get on with it.
Oh, me too. I've not used it about 5 years. I got it at the beginning, and then I was getting good views. Well, I mean, once I figure out the algorithm, obviously, and I was getting good views, but I wasn't getting any followers, really. The followers remained quite low, but I was getting thousands of views. So I just gave up in the end. So I thought, it's not for me.
I don't blame you.
I'll stick to the traditional social media accounts, and this year alone on Instagram, I have grown it by 100 more, and we do have Kubus just saying that the person loves TikTok on
TikTok?
the live chat. I thought Kubus in our live chat.
Good for you, Kubus. I love TikTok, but not as a creator. It's very degrading.
Yeah, but there is so many, I guess, social media accounts. You got to stay on now to keep relevant on. Because I just feel like you just posted the same content on all three or all four, whatever it may be, just to try and get those people to discover you, I guess.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's interesting because I will put the same posts on Facebook as I do on Instagram.
Yeah.
I will write a post up on Instagram and then copy and paste it to Facebook.
Yeah.
So wherever somebody follows me, they're getting the exact same posts. because I can't be bothered, Edward.
I know.
I can't be bothered.
I know. I'm like you.
I'm
like
trying
you.
to
I do
work
the same
smarter,
thing.
not harder.
Yeah, I'm like you. I do the exact same thing. But I guess as well because you're also performing at the same time, that puts more pressure on to try and keep yourself relevant and be able to keep getting yourself booked in even the same places or in new places, and as well having those competition from other people who want to be in your spot as well. And like, how do you stay, you know, in your own lane to make sure there's other people who want your spot don't get that spot? If that makes sense, it not being in a cool way.
No, it makes perfect sense, and the secret is just you've got to keep doing what you're known for doing personally. Like the venue I'm working in this year in Calador in Mallorca on the south of the island is called Eden Paradise, and it's probably the biggest show bar, especially the biggest outdoor show bar on this part of the island. Thousands of people visit every year. It's been on the go longer than I've been alive.
Wow.
Probably longer than you've been alive as well, to be fair. And some of the best tributes and performers in the whole of Spain could come and perform here every night across the season. And, you know, I knew that I had big shoes to fill because the last couple of people that have done my job as an entertainer in Eden Paradise have been absolutely brilliant. But you just got to bring your A game. And this year, with Eden Paradise, it wasn't a case of they wanted to get a entertainer or any old DJ, any Joe Blogs to come and do it. They'd messaged me specifically and said, "We know you was out here last year. We've only heard good things." And I didn't know that a couple of their bar staff had walked past and spoken to me undercover last year as well to see what I was all about. And they said, you know, we specifically want you next year.
That's good. That's a good compliment.
I've just done everything I did before.
Yeah.
And just make sure that, you know, I mean, every gig I do, every night out here, every gig I do in the UK, I treat it like it's my last. And whether I've got 100% to give or 1% to give, I always give 100% of what I have got. You know, try and be upbeat and whatever, and you know, entertain the crowd and everything. And that's what you've got to do in our game. Whatever unique things that you do personally, keep doing it and just remind the people that are booking you why they are booking you and nobody else.
Yeah, absolutely. And I just got to point out that wherever you are parked at the moment, because if you're listening to this, then you need to come to YouTube and watch this because you just missed something extraordinary happening in the background of George's, I guess, dash cam here.
Extraordinary?
Yes, there was. I don't know where. I don't know what on earth where you're parked, but that van behind you then was going a bit too quickly going around that corner behind you. So I don't know where you were.
Was he really?
He was, yeah, going a bit too quick for my liking.
Oh, they drive like lunatics out here. You've got no idea.
Well, I just saw it.
In one piece.
Yeah. I just thought I'll point that out. Like, oh my word! I've got to think who doesn't crash into you? That'd be a live crash on air. We'd be all witnesses.
That'd be a first.
Yeah, it would be. It would be a first for me as well. But I mean, on that subject though, you know, every night is your last, which is great, and that's why people probably enjoy, you know, watching you and you know, being engaging and even singing along. Now that car behind is going a lot slower. There we go.
Look at that, substantially slower.
Yeah, doing a bit of a U-turn.
That was too slow.
Yeah, but it's not a U-turn.
Too fast or too slow. There's no happy medium.
Yeah, that was a U-turn. That was so that doesn't really count. But what makes you think? I guess get the fans involved in your performances, and what's the secret behind that compared to maybe other performers you may watch before you perform, or other places where you've grown up to be inspired? What makes your performances stand out better than the others who you've seen to get them involved in your act?
To be honest, it's reminding people not to take it too seriously. Everything that I've ever done, it's been tongue in cheek. It's been amateurish at best, but that's the way to do it. There's so many singers, especially on karaoke.
Yeah.
I don't just mean like the professional singers, karaoke singers that come up and, they've had a couple of drinks and they want to sing a song, whatever, fair enough. And they try and take it really seriously. And I've had people come up to me before and they've gone, "Oh, can I get a bit more reverb on the microphone while I'm singing?" And I go, "No, diva, but the mic settings are for everybody. You're not going to get special treatment out of me." And people do, don't they? They all want to give the best performance they can, especially after a couple of sherbets. But every time I'm performing, whether I'm doing karaoke or singing properly for a cabaret, or if I'm entertaining younger people, like for a kids' disco or something, I just don't take it too seriously. Yeah. And I'm breaking the fourth wall all the time. So, because I'm not the best singer in the world, I'm not the best DJ in the world, I'm not the best anything. I'm just Tropical George. And, if you like me, fair play. If you don't, then sorry, I'm so rubbish. But this is the thing. I try my best to keep it lighthearted and laugh with people, because if people don't think I'm very good, which I'm sure a lot of people do, at least then they're not going to be laughing at me, they're going to be laughing with me. And that makes a grander performance. It's almost like, I'm going to get up on the stage and make myself look like a fool for the next half an hour, and I want you to know that I know that I'm being a fool. So laugh with me, and get involved. And you'll find as well that you can win an audience over by making them feel comfortable as well. If someone's too wooden, like professional performers will come up on a stage and it's almost like you're watching a TV. They won't break the fourth wall. They won't give any eye contact. They won't speak to anybody. They'll just run the script and stand there and do what they do every other night of the week. And people see through it.
Interesting.
People know that. But if you can break the fourth wall and have the laugh with people and remind them that you are human, I am up here. I know that I'm not the best, but I'm enjoying myself. So hopefully you can see that and you enjoy yourself.
Yeah, absolutely. And it's good. It's good that people are, taking to you and reacting well to your performances and whatever else you are doing when you're hosting or as entertaining the crowd on any particular night. And I guess on this trip at the moment, what's been the reaction you've been receiving so far? Have you had many difficult people to handle?
Well, but 99.9% of people have been an absolute delight, to be honest. And there's been loads of people that have come to Calador on holiday this year who I met last year in my previous venue, and they've come back and they've been in every night and we've had the crack. And by the way, boys and girls, Mr. Fowler is suffering from a cold at the moment, so give him the benefit of a doubt there. But so it's been lovely. There's been a couple of people who have had a bit too much to drink and have given me a bit of lip about karaoke or about something else that's not anything to do with the venue. But, most people have been lovely. Really, really lovely. And everybody who follows the Tropical George pages, most of them are people that I've met out here as well. And it's nice because I'll be able to go back to the UK and I can still message people that I've met this year, and people send me photos and videos and, "Are you back next year? Because we're coming back." And it's lovely. Really nice.
Well, the question is, are you going back next year?
Ooh, well. Can we
talk about that? Oh, before you do, I'm just going to disappear for a moment. my package is here.
It's a parcel. I'll tell you what, you go deal with your Amazon parcel. I'll keep the live feed going, don't worry. This is live TV, boys and girls, if you're watching. You are still watching the Edward Fowler Show. Your host with the most, Mr. Edward Fowler, has gone to get an Amazon package. I am baking in my car, so I'm going to get rid of some sweat from my face. But hello, if you're watching live on YouTube or watching the recording afterwards. My name's Tropical George. And the question Mr. Fowler just asked me, am I going back to Eden Paradise Calador next year? The answer is, yes, I am. Brilliant. I had a chat with him a couple of weeks ago. I said, "How do you think it's going? Do you want me back next year?" And they said, "Absolutely, we do." So I'll be back next season. So if anybody would like to come to Calador in Mallorca for the holidays next year, come and see Tropical George in Eden Paradise, and I'll make you very welcome. And now the host is back, and we'll carry on where we left off.
Yes, first time that's ever happened where we get interrupted by a parcel. So welcome, thank you so much for filling in there for me. I am now officially back, and we do have a live comment again, which we do like. So thank you so much. And they want to know your new project, Hits from Paradise. So if you're okay for me to share what you sent me regarding it, that's fine.
Go for it.
Yes,
Go
perfect.
for it.
So we have
It's time to let the world know.
a flyer. Of course, now for some reason on the flyer you sent me, it has been cropped out of sorts. So we've only got this on the screen. So it's got Tropical Jaws, Hits from Paradise, the brand new comedy vocal show from the one and only, and then it cuts off after that.
Oh no.
Yes.
Well, you've got the important part. That's very important. I'm glad you got the key bit in. So
Yeah.
fair play.
Absolutely.
Fair play.
So,
But yeah, no, that's a new project. It's official. Hits from Paradise. And to answer that comment, basically, for the last 2 or 3 years, I've enjoyed doing a karaoke song, and I've dabbled in professional singing. You know, I've got a Britpop tribute on the go at home, where I do a bit of singing and shake the tambourine and get involved. And I had a Christmas song a few years ago, which I released. It was on a couple of radio stations in the UK. But after a full 5-month season of singing karaoke and people enjoying it more and getting bigger applause, and after taking advice from people, I finally decided I'm going to bite the bullet, and I am beginning a new venture, a new career, if you like, in comedy singing.
Interesting collaboration now, isn't it?
So
I guess
there you
between
go.
comedy and singing.
Yeah, absolutely. Basically, it's loads of cheesy songs, Sweet Caroline, Penny Arcade, Shang-a-Lang, all that lovely stuff. Things that'll go down well in your average English pub or working men's club.
So we won't expect any like they're gonna give you up or girls just want to have fun in there now.
Well, there's a few 80s ones in there, you know. There's a few.
Yeah.
There's a few going on.
Yeah.
But basically, it's not to be taken too seriously. You know, the idea is that you come along, you sing with me, you laugh with me, and we have some jolly good fun. And I'm very delighted to announce, Edward, that my first night doing the comedy vocal show, the Hits from Paradise, is going to be in Eden Paradise, Calador, in October.
Ah, very good.
So in just under 2 weeks' time.
Yes.
And then hopefully in the coming weeks, I'll be announcing some dates, and I'll be performing in the UK as well.
Fabulous. And
so
I hope that
space.
you put Manchester as well as venues you come to, because I know you're going to Grimsby at the beginning of December.
That's right. Yeah. The hometown of Grimsby. It'd be rude not to. It's on your doorstep, you know. And that's with the Britpop show. That's going to be a brilliant night. That's 90s versus Britpop. So myself and my bandmate Ethan Taylor, we're going to be doing the hits of Oasis, Pulp, Blur, Shed 7, Stone Roses, all them lovely people. And on the other side of the night, we're going to have a live singer, Mr. Hilton John, who some of you might remember from ITV's Starstruck a couple years ago, when he pretended to be John Bon Jovi. But he's going to be Mr. 1990s in December on that night, doing the greatest hits from the 90s. So if you are local to Lincolnshire in the UK, or if I can tempt you with a weekend away before Christmas, come on down. 90s versus Britpop on Friday the 3rd of December, I believe it is.
Well, there we go.
Without looking at my diary.
Yes, thank you for that. And again, you can find out more information on all of this as well by going to Tropical George on Facebook and Instagram. That's his handle. Where else can they find you on social media or elsewhere they can keep up with all your latest dates and come out to support you and your band as well?
Well, I'm on YouTube at Tropical George Entertainer. I've got about 16 subscribers or something pathetic like that. So by all means, go and have a look at that. There's a couple of things on there. Other than that, my actual Britpop tribute has got its own Facebook page. So if anybody would like to type in on Facebook, Sierra, a tribute to Britpop, our page will come up, and any gigs that we have booked between now and Christmas, we'll be putting on there as well.
Perfect. Very good, very good. Now, I posted some interesting content on my Instagram, and I know you've commented on it with then caught my eye. Thinking I did not know you were into that, so that's why I'm going to bring you up now. I think you know what I'm going to say now. I could be wrong, but
I think so.
Yeah, you think so. So, of course, we have a lot of wrestlers come on this show who have worked in the WWE. For instance, we've had on Jake Hager, who has most recently been on this show, who used to work in WWE.
Oh, wow, the real American.
Yes. Indeed.
I apologise, I'm dripping with sweat. Carry on.
And I know as well that when I posted about the John Cena's farewell tour, you then commented on that, and you can't believe it. I think as well about his final year. So again, that caught my eye. I did not know you were into that because, of course, when you reached out to me, there's nothing about that. So I thought, okay, well, so that's a pleasant surprise. So, how long have you been maybe a John Cena fan or even a WWE fan in general?
Well, this is where Tropical George ends and George Kavanagh begins.
Right,
because,
okay.
It's not a well-known fact, but yeah, I'll let it slip now. I'm a massive professional wrestling fan.
Perfect.
I have been since I was a kid, and I've actually got to thank my uncle Paddy, for getting me into wrestling when I was about 7 years old. And he used to take me to the local wrestling in Grimsby. And it was a bit of escapism for me because at home I had my dad. He was in his final days battling lung cancer before we lost him. So it was a nice. If you can go into an auditorium with a bunch of sweaty, long-haired blokes and just shout abuse at someone, it's a brilliant. It's fantastic. It's the best escapism you could possibly get, Edward. And I've loved wrestling ever since.
Good.
And I go onto YouTube like any kid would, and you Google your favorite wrestlers and follow them. And I got a new favorite wrestler in about 2015, who was Prince Devitt, now Finn Balor.
Okay.
And then when I found out he'd gone to WWE 9 years ago, I followed him through NXT, and that's how I got into WWE.
Ah, perfect. So from the independents into the mainstream.
Avid wrestling fan.
I like it. So, do you still follow a lot of independent companies in your neck of the woods?
Not really, to be honest. There's a good reason for that. It's because all my childhood heroes are now retired.
Right, fair enough.
And it's just not the same. It's not the same when you're not seeing the same people that you used to shout at when you were 7.
Yeah,
it's just not the same.
Yeah,
but I was going to bring this up eventually if you weren't.
Well, please do.
On the subject of WWE and wrestling. Have you seen AEW this week? Adam Copeland is leaving AEW.
Apparently he is, yes. Apparently he is.
Apparently. His contract's up in a month.
Yes.
So, sorry to everyone watching. This is getting a bit boring now. I'm going a bit off topic. But I wanted to ask you, Edward, so I'm taking my time to do it.
Yeah.
Do you think we can expect Edge versus John Cena in December?
No.
Or do you think that's... No.
No.
You don't think so?
No. I read something. Again... This is what comes up on my Facebook, so I don't follow anything to do with anything, and I get these just posts coming up, and according to the dirt sheets, I don't know how familiar you are with the dirt sheets. Apparently, apparently he is not returning to WWE. Apparently, he's leaving AEW to go into the final season of some TV show, which starts filming shortly after he finishes his career. But good, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. He might return, but I just can't see it. But I will say this, though, and I got two things actually on this. So one is, I'm guessing you might think that he may return to WWE to face John Cena. Number two, though, another rumour going around is that Chris Jericho is meant to be returning to WWE in early next year at the Royal Rumble. Do you think that's going to happen? I'll just return the question back to you, and then I got a second question regarding the answer you just gave me about independent wrestling.
Oh, well, I don't think Edge is coming back, but I'm hoping and praying the Edge comes back, and there's nothing that's going to stop me hoping and praying, because what a final match that'd be for Cena.
Yeah.
And I think the fans are due it, because The Rock completely blew the whole heel storyline, as we know.
What, the final boss? The final boss says.
Yes, the final boss, the world's worst boss ever. Throws a grenade in the writer's room and then walks out and then says he's never coming back. Cheers, mate. Yes, that's lovely. But yeah, obviously Chris Jericho's going to come back.
Do you think so?
I think so. I think in the Rumble.
Well, do you think, if that happens, do you think we'll get Break the Walls, or do you think we get the Judas theme tune?
I think it'll be Judas.
Yeah, I think so as well.
Definitely.
Yeah. That'd be a good,
no doubt about it.
That'd be a good sing-along in the Royal Rumble, for sure.
It's going to be interesting if it does happen.
Yeah.
It's going to be very interesting. But what that'd mean for AEW, I don't know.
Well, as I don't know how much you've seen or read into, but I know that the WWE are trying to get rid of AEW completely with making this other company, TNA, one of the best companies when I was growing up, Total Non-Stop Action, back to being the number 2 wrestling promotion in the US again, behind an AEW go down to number 3 or number 4, whatever, which of course with New Japan Pro Wrestling. So, I mean, that is what their target is, and then I guess eventually they will buy TNA, and then they will hold wrestling. They will win wrestling in the world once again.
Well, I suppose we'll believe it when we see it, won't we? We'll just see what happens.
Yeah,
we will.
But back down to this question, back to your original answer. We go full circle.
Back on course. Sorry, viewers.
Have you ever thought about reaching out to any of these local promotions near to you, or just anywhere in the UK, to see if you can bring what you do at these shows right now abroad into a wrestling show? Because I'm sure I'm sure your personality and what you could bring to the table would probably be a perfect match with pro wrestling. Of course, with the added bonus that maybe somebody will throw you around, maybe perhaps because they might not like what you bring to the table. Hence, some bad guys.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 ways I can answer that, Edward. First of all, I'll start by saying that I have contacted one of the wrestlers that I remember from growing up about 3 weeks ago.
Oh, really?
It was a moment of weakness.
Yeah.
I'd had a few cans of Estrella in my apartment. I was very drunk, very, very drunk. And I rather drunkenly messaged him and just said thank you for the memories.
Okay.
And I hope you're doing well in life. And then when I woke up the next morning, I was so embarrassed that I'd messaged him that I deleted the whole conversation.
Oh.
I didn't delete the message, but I deleted the conversation out of my feed.
Yeah.
And then he messaged me the day after my birthday saying, thank you very much, and I hope you're keeping well too. So that was lovely.
Yeah.
That was really
lovely.
nice.
Yeah.
I felt embarrassed at the time, but that was lovely.
Yeah.
And I actually used to do a bit of pro wrestling when I was younger as well.
Interesting. I like it.
The local promoters ran a junior course every Sunday for 2 hours. Anyone between the ages of 10 and 14, you get in the ring, do a bit of chain wrestling, do a couple of bumps and whatever, run the ropes. So I've done little bits already.
Right, I like that. Any chance of you getting in the ring maybe a bit more full time in front of a live crowd in the future?
No. In another universe, in another life, I would have loved to.
Oh.
But the fact is, I was traumatized about 10 years ago when one of the coaches suplexed me, and I hated being held upside down. And I've seen too many people like Adam Copeland, like Sting and Daniel Bryan get neck injuries and nearly paralyze themselves doing it. Yeah. So I don't think so. And I've also found out recently I've got a herniated disc in my lower back that's too small to operate on.
Oh.
And I've been banned from doing any physical activity.
Oh, for life?
For life, basically,
wow.
Yeah.
Well, I'm sorry to hear that. I do hope at some point in the future it gets bigger so that they can operate on it for you and get removed. I hope that will happen in one positive way of putting things anyway. But I mean, you never know. If you ever get a call from WWE one day by saying, hey, we've seen your stuff and we want you to do this on live TV, would you say yes?
Oh, absolutely. Crikey. I'd love to be, a ring announcer or a manager or a commentator. I'd love it.
So it
I
means
would
you
love
could
it to
do
bits.
that on a local level as well, I guess. You could bring your
Possibly.
personality to some indie shows and get the fans to either like you or not like you.
I think it's more fun if I don't like you.
Yes, I agree.
But would that be a conflict of interest? I don't want, kids from the Lincolnshire area coming on holiday to Calador and go, I know him, boo, and whatever, and throwing popcorn at me.
Well, it could have an interesting reaction, I'm sure. But I mean, it'd be something you maybe should try. Maybe not in Grimsby, maybe elsewhere, maybe on a local TV show or YouTube show, and see how it goes through.
Maybe, maybe.
Yeah,
Well,
yeah,
you can never say never, can you?
yeah. That's very
But,
true.
but
Never say never.
looking into the close future, I'm going to keep it to singing and DJing,
Good.
because I know I can do that without putting too much strain on
Yeah.
myself. But maybe one day, who knows? Maybe one day I'll live the dream.
Right. Well, we look
But
forward to that,
I
and
don't think it's
hopefully.
anytime soon.
Well, if that ever happens, then I wish you the best of luck, and hopefully, you become a well-known personality in the world of wrestling. I mean, if you go onto this channel, we've had some great conversations. We've got into one argument with somebody in the past, back about 5 years ago now, when I was also not 100% under the weather as well. At the time, it's quite comical, so don't worry, I'm not going to start any argument with you tonight. Got no intention of doing that. But on this occasion, myself and this pro wrestler did get into a bit of an argument, and at the time, I thought it was a bit of fun, but I think he took a bit to heart and thought I'd
They've
be
all got
rude.
fragile egos, haven't they, these
Yeah,
wrestlers? A lot of entertainers have as well, but you can't, can you?
no.
You can't. Life's too short.
No, it is. That's very true.
Have a laugh and enjoy yourself.
Yeah.
Well, to the best of your ability, anyway.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, no, I agree. I agree.
You've
And
got
of
to.
course, yourself has that perfect perceptive of life too short for sure. And speaking of which, you mentioned about your father, obviously, and of course, again, I'm sorry to hear that you didn't get much time to spend with your father as you were growing up. And do you try and keep, I guess, his legacy alive through your shows you put on, or any little bits which reminds him of you of him when you're performing?
I try my best. I do try my absolute best. The number one way that I honour my dad nowadays is actually with the car that I'm in now.
Okay.
Because when I was younger, my dad used to have a Ford Sierra. Obviously, at the time, it wasn't sort of, seen as like a classic or a vintage car.
Yeah.
It was just an old rock box. But he ran it as a taxi, and it was an old car at the time. I mean, I'm going back 12 years now, and he had the official oldest taxi in the whole of Grimsby and Cleethorpes, my local area, and he almost made it to Top Gear
Oh,
with that
really?
car. In
Wow.
the early 2010s, right before his cancer diagnosis,
Yeah.
the Top Gear crew were filming just outside Lincoln, that
Yeah.
way on. And he reached out to the producers and said, I've got the oldest taxi in the whole of Grimsby, and I promise you that I can beat the Stig in a lap around your Top Gear test track. And they were going to do it. They had the track day booked and everything for 6 months ahead of time.
Yeah.
And then when the producers got back in touch with him, he got his cancer diagnosis.
Hmm.
He'd gone down like a sack of spuds, and within 18 months, he was gone. Bless him.
Yeah, that's a shame.
We
guess.
lost him in that 2013. So
Yeah.
I got this car, my own Sierra, to honour him. And a couple of years ago, I came this close to getting on Top Gear myself
Ah.
and challenging the Stig, but it was too
wasn't,
little, too late.
or,
It
or,
wasn't
or
meant to be.
yeah, exactly. Well, it wasn't meant to be, I guess. And I don't know if you're a big believer or not in everything happens for a reason as well. I don't know if you are a believer in
Yeah,
that
oh, absolutely.
or not, but hopefully down the line something may happen which gives you that opportunity on Top Gear or any other big car show. Because I know there's also a great car show
Yeah,
out there
we'll
called
see.
Car SOS, and of course you got wheelie dealers as well. So you
We'll
might.
see what happens. Like you say, things happen for a reason. I'm a big believer in that, and what's meant for you won't pass you by, and everything. So until that day comes, I'll just keep terrorizing boy racers in the little Fiestas. They're all driving around the boating lake in Cleethorpes playing drum and bass, and here I come with playing the Human League. I love your love action, and they're all looking at me, gone out. Whatever.
Love it, and we thank you so much for the subscribers. By the way, two subscribers. Thank you so much for the last few moments, and you would have saw the subscriber count going up there from 345 to now 347 subscribers. We're close to getting 350. So if you're watching this and you're not subscribed, why aren't you subscribed? It takes 10 seconds less to subscribe, and it's called a donation to me to show your support of my channel, because it's a free donation and you don't have to pay nothing to subscribe. So to subscribe today. I do want to cough, by the way, if I keep croaking at the last minute. So yeah, so I'm trying not to cough live, but yeah.
If you need to cough, Edward, let it out. It's live TV. Don't worry about it. Well, on the subject of your subscribers, how many people are currently watching live? Have you got the number there in front of you?
I do. I think I've got about 8 in total at the moment.
Right then. Which means a quarter of your current viewers are subscribed to your channel, which is incredible. But if you are watching this and you're not already subscribed, I'm going to echo that message. Hurry up and subscribe. What's wrong with you? Come on. Join the Edward Fowler Club.
Yes, what is right? Yes. So
do it now.
Do it now, indeed. Yes, don't be too late. But before we let you go, you've got to tell the viewers and listeners as well what your, I guess, goals are for the end of the year, this year or in the future, what you wanting to achieve, because you've mentioned as well on your social media you've been on TV, radio, etc. So is one of your goals to maybe get your own TV show or your own radio show in the long-term future?
Well, I will say this, Edward, that I'm not afraid to create opportunities.
Yeah.
And reach out and be cheeky and try and blag my way through things. I messaged you about being here today, and thanks again for having me.
Well, you're welcome. I hope you enjoyed it.
It's been brilliant, bless you. Thank you very much. And I blagged my way to Mallorca. I blagged my way through Pontins. I blagged my way into getting Mark Shaw to come and do a gig for me in Grimsby. Cool. So. I'm a professional blagger, and if one day I can blag my way into a TV show, I'll be very, very happy. We'll see. But, between now and sort of the next 2 years, I'm back in Mallorca next year, looking forward to it already. But this winter, end of 2025 into 2026, I'm already fully booked this year for entertainment in the UK, which is lovely. Loads of Christmas parties coming up, corporate events, charity balls and things, so that's nice. We're going to keep going with this Hits from Paradise. We've announced it now, so hopefully there'll be loads of comedy singing coming up across the UK, hopefully near you in Manchester as well.
Yes,
I will do my best to get myself over there.
Yes, come to the best city in the
goal
world.
for me is to keep going.
Yes, keep
going. That's it. And I will tell you that in November I'll be celebrating 2 years working full time in entertainment.
That's what we like.
Which is lovely. Thank you very much.
That's what we like. That's what we like.
Nice.
This is because we see a lot of people juggling this like as a hobby, trying to make it their full-time job, obviously, and of course doing something else as a full-time job until they get enough recognition to do this type of thing. And thank you, another subscriber, 348 subscribers now to this channel. This is great. As you can see, it's a rolling tally. Tell your friends, come here right now, tell them more to subscribe.
Yes, do it.
Because we've got some fantastic guests lined up, obviously, and guests who you may never think will come on the show. But back to what I was going to say to you is, hey, sorry, there's somebody that's now just unsubscribed. Which we like. So yes, sorry, I must have blabbed a bit too much there. So apologies to that person who just had to unsubscribe but to subscribe. Maybe did it by mistake. We got Emma in the chat room saying, "Hey George, Emma and Jane here."
Hey, hello you two. I know exactly who they are. Yeah. Hello, ladies. Yes. Hope you're keeping well.
Yes, I that's why I thought I was shouting because from the way they wrote that personally, I thought you would know exactly who they were. Emma as
Absolutely.
well mentions, where's your wig? And also, hello,
Oh,
sunshine.
yeah. Yeah, I've got some wigs that I put on every now and then in Calador. You know, you might have seen, but Tropical Georgia made a cameo a few nights ago. You know, when you're working every night hosting karaoke like I do, sometimes you have to spice it up.
You do.
And
You
maybe that
do.
means you're going to put a dress on and a wig and,
Yeah.
you know,
Yeah,
go a bit ladylike for the evening, you
yeah,
know.
you got to keep yourself reinvented and keep the act fresh as well,
Absolutely.
because if the same people come every night, they get a bit bored of the same thing you're going to be repeating every day of the week. Bit like comedians, isn't it? I guess because comedians
Oh, yeah.
always shake it up, with all their performances and keeping it fresh. And I'm sure you'll be doing that in your performance, in your comedian and singing when you cross those two over. Which
Well,
I
I tell
think,
you what,
which I think
comedy
maybe you're a bit
vocals.
bonkers for doing that, but you might regret it, or you might be living the dream in
Well,
trouble as well
until I
now.
do it, I don't know.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. Until I do it, I don't know. And I've got so many lovely friends at home in the UK who are fantastic singers. I'll shout some out. Hilton John, Stevie S, for example, Harley J, my bandmate Ethan. All fantastic, talented people. So if I need any advice, I've got it there. But it's true what you say about stand-up comedy. You know, I've got my stand-up T-shirt. I did Britain's Got Talent 9 years ago
Mm.
doing stand-up comedy and got 4 yeses for the pleasure. But all them jokes I found on Google. Honestly.
Well, thank you for being honest. Wow, yeah.
Oh
But
yeah.
I do
In between
remember
playing
watching.
Minecraft.
So
Yeah, I
so
was
now you
Googling
mentioned about
jokes.
that about being on Britain's Got Talent. Now, of course, I did watch that about 9 years ago. So I probably did see you on Britain's Got Talent 9 years ago. It was between the judges. I'm guessing it was Simon Cowell, wasn't it? And
It
Amanda
was David
Holden,
Williams,
David Williams,
Amanda Holden, and Alicia
Kitchen.
Dixon.
Yeah, Lisa Dixon. Yeah. And I'm glad that they were nice to you as well, because I know sometimes they can be a bit.
To a degree. They were nice to a degree. Simon took a lot of sweet talking, you know. And the thing is, on YouTube and on the telly, they only put about 2.5 minutes of the audition on, but I was
Yes.
on the stage for at least quarter of an hour.
Oh gosh, yeah, that
You know,
long.
so loads of things were cut out.
Oh right.
You
Okay.
know,
Like
I
what?
tripped up on a joke, for example. I tripped up on
Ah.
a joke, and Simon Cowell whispered something
Oh,
in. Now, who sits next to Simon? It was either Amanda or Alicia. Whispered something in her ear
yeah.
about me, which knocked me off my game. The audience started booing. Boo, but none of that was shown on the telly, you
No.
know.
No. Oh, that's interesting. Because I thought you'd be on there like 2 or 3 minutes for what we see on the TV, and then they give their thoughts to you, and then they vote, and then you go on your May. Either way, But yeah, it's interesting. I know something new there. But let's see. Emma says as well that he's as mad as a box of frogs as well.
Nothing wrong with that. I know all about boxes of frogs. I've seen about them on Reddit. Reddit?
Yes.
And that's why I shouldn't have got 4 yeses.
Oh.
That's about as good as my jokes get.
Right. So I mean, you did get 4 yeses, so that's an accomplishment for you. So very good. And if you get the opportunity to go big in the future and make your a household name, will we see you on I'm a Celebrity
Well,
or on MasterChef or something like that in the future? Does that entice
maybe.
you?
Well, I'm not very good at cooking though,
What
so I'm
about
not sure
Big
about
Brother?
MasterChef. Maybe the Masked Singer. Maybe I could do that.
Yes, the Masked Singer. Yeah. So, or what about I'm a Celebrity or Big Brother?
Oh, crikey. Wow. Yeah, that'd be interesting. Maybe not I'm a Celebrity because I've got shocking arachnophobia.
Ah, fair enough.
But Big Brother, well, I could do Big Brother.
Yeah. It's now
maybe
8:39 at night, and George is sat on his bed.
Absolutely. Probably watching the Edward Fowler show.
Yeah,
Hey,
yeah, I love that.
if you pay me enough beforehand, mate, I'll do that.
yeah.
No problem.
Emma says, can you cook beans on toast, George?
I can, if push comes to shove. I mean, to be honest, in Mallorca, I'm living on whatever refrigerated ready meals Lidl have got to offer.
Oh, I like it.
So tonight I've got some kind of chow mein.
Charmaine.
Because the cooking instructions are in Spanish, I don't know what to do. I just take the lid off, put it in for 2 minutes, and hope I don't die in the night.
Well,
and just eat it like that.
well, I mean, can't you not just, what's the word? type in the translation, type it all in Spanish into Google and do the translation, see what it says in English. That might work.
I would, but normally the times that I'm making my food, I'm absolutely tired and starving. So I'll eat anything. I'm like some kind of ravenous animal.
I am
So
laughing.
just straight in the microwave, that's it.
Yeah, I'm laughing because
I'll
Emma says we won't come yours for a meal then in Mallorca because we already get Spanish tummy.
Yeah, you will. You will. It will ruin your holiday.
Wow. On that note, before we let you go, I want to know, I'll give you the floor to now mention anything else you'd like to mention to get off your chest, which I've not mentioned already, which you think is very important to get off your chest.
Okay, is it like on Greatest Hits Radio on Popmaster where I get 30 seconds to say anything I want and then I'm cut off?
No,
Or can I really...
there is no 30 seconds. I'm just letting you digest and say it in a minute, which I've not brought up, which you think is important to go off your chest, which I'm not, brought up, which you think which should have been brought up in this conversation.
But I'll tell you what I'll do then, because I think it's important. A couple of final messages to your lovely viewers and a few thank yous, I think, as well. Because I'm not a one-man show. If venues don't want to book me, then I'm powerless. If people don't want to follow me on social media, then I'm also powerless again. And entertainment is very much a job of the people. You've got to be liked. And I only set up the Tropical George Instagram last year. And in that time, like you're saying, nearly 700 people have followed it, which is great. Emma and Jane, for example, lovely people who I've met through my tropical antics. So I'll tell you what, I'll start with some thank yous. First of all, thank you to you, Edward, for your time today. You've been a delight.
You're welcome.
Thank you very much, and
You're
thank
welcome.
you for having me. I do
welcome.
very much appreciate it. Thank you to all the lovely team at Eden Paradise Calador, who have looked after me for the last 6 months and have already volunteered to look after me again next year to keep me out of mischief. Thank you very much to Steve Ruslin at Now Entertain Me in Lincolnshire, because he looks after all my entertainment bookings for me when I'm in the UK. And final shout outs, first of all, to Hilton John, who has been so helpful with getting my Hits from Paradise show ready, vocal exercises that he's given me, advice on software, backing tracks, sound equipment, stuff that I'm still a bit unsure about. Thank you to my lovely mother as well, Sam, who I couldn't do any of this without. And she's the one that kept me on the straight and narrow after my dad died. And everything that I've done in the last 12 years, I've got only her to credit for it. So I love you, Mum. Thank you very much. I know you're out in the pub now, so you'll be watching this later on with a kebab. I love you very much, and I hope you had a lovely night out with all your friends in Grimsby. And final messages, I suppose, is don't take yourselves too seriously, boys and girls. I know I certainly don't. I'll be the first to laugh at myself. And if this new Hits from Paradise singing adventure blows up in smoke, just know that I'll be the first one to admit it and the first one to laugh about it. And if you can do anything, make sure that you're nice to everyone, that you try and get a smile out of everyone, and be your most authentic selves. That's very important as well. Don't try and be someone that you're not. Just be you and be proud of you. And that's all I've got to say on that.
Yeah, I love that. Good way to end the show. Great advice there, George, as well. So thank you so much for sharing. And Emma wants to also as well put into that saying that never drink and drive, and if you do leave, don't forget the car. Please don't forget the car as well.
That's water, Emma. It's water. Don't worry. I'm not that bad of a boy. I don't mix drinking and driving. I'm not one of them.
No. And Kubus also says, we love you, Tropical George, as well. Yes, indeed. And we wish you nothing but...
I love you too, bless you. Thank you.
We will, of course, wish you nothing but the best for the rest of this year as well. And to end your... I see, Emma says, it's a joke, you lunatics. I like that. I've been called a lunatic now. I like that. Good way to end the show here tonight. But we got to say as well, because we wish you the best of luck for the rest of your shows in Mallorca, and of course for the UK when you do return over here. In how many weeks?
I'll be back in the UK in about 5 weeks.
5 weeks.
But by bonfire night, I'll be home.
So you'll miss Halloween then? Is that right?
Yeah, Halloween will be our last night this
Why?
year.
Okay. So are you going to be dressing up on Halloween?
I'm not sure.
Do
I'm
they
thinking
do that
about
over
it.
there?
I'm thinking about it.
Do they dress up over there on Halloween?
Well, we'll be in for a heck of a shock if they don't, and I rock up in a costume. What I might do,
There we go.
I've had a lot of people tell me I look like Caleb from Clarkson's farm, so I might dress up as
Yeah,
Caleb,
yeah,
maybe.
yeah, yeah,
I
yeah.
don't know.
I can
I don't
see
know. We'll see.
the similarities with
Oh
Caleb from
yeah,
Clarkson Farm. You could be his double
he-
act.
he's a sexy man. I'm quite happy with that comparison.
Yeah, yeah. You could be
I'd like to be a
his
penny
double
behind
ganger.
him.
If he needs a day off, you could go in on Clarkson's farm and tell Jeremy Clarkson what to do.
Crikey, yeah.
Yeah.
I'd be well up for that.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, we've got to mention as well before we let you leave, because we want to know. It's coming up to 7 o'clock now here at your time locally for you. So you only got less than an hour now before you need to get on stage and perform. So we'll hopefully.
It's pint time. That's what it is.
Yes,
it's
hopefully.
pint time.
Hopefully you're not too far from the venue to nip over there. But I want to know though is who do you think should come on this show after you, George?
Who do I think should come on the
Yes,
show, or who do I
yes.
think will?
Well, either one will work for me because of the fact that who should follow in your footsteps to come on this show next
That is a jolly good question.
on the unedited,
There's a couple.
off the cuff
Yeah, oh yeah.
conversation.
There's a couple of people who I think should come on. First of all, Doctor Love, Mr. Mark Bradley, who
Okay.
is a business owner in Mallorca.
Yeah.
He's one of the most charismatic and entertaining people I've ever met in my life.
Okay.
And me and him get on like a house on fire. And if I was 40 years older, we'd be like that. We'd be besties.
Yeah. Well, I
But,
mean, you could be
but
better now,
instead,
though. Doesn't matter about age, does it?
oh, well, I suppose, yeah. But he calls himself my adopted father.
I like that.
And him and his lovely wife, Lindsay, very, very, very good friends of mine. More like family, to be honest. I've known him for a couple of years. And if I could coax him into giving you an hour at some point, I think you'd have a cracking conversation with him.
Yeah.
So that's one that I think you
Business
should
owner.
get.
I like that. Yeah.
Absolutely. And a fellow business owner in Mallorca, Will Holden. He's a DJ as well. And he owns a cocktail bar. It's his first season
Oh wow.
in Calador this year. And you'd have a great conversation with him about the world of DJing,
Yes.
about, festivals, events. And as a British guy who's moved to Mallorca permanently as well,
Wow.
that'd be a cracker.
On that
Absolute
note,
cracker.
because you mentioned earlier in our conversation that you don't have a real, I guess mixed stock to do DJ. I'm
Yeah.
guessing Will does. I am assuming.
Oh, yeah.
He's the real
Yeah,
deal.
he is the bee's knees. He would wipe the floor with me in a DJ competition. He'd be doing all his clever blah, 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 and I'd just be chucking on like soft cell or something, So
Fair enough.
I know my place,
Fair enough. Fair enough. So yeah, so great suggestions. Thank you so much for those suggestions as well. I hope I lived up to your expectations as well, George, from when you reached out to me, because of course you reached out to me and I'm not actually booked this. You decided to book on it, so you're welcome to come back and anytime you like, and hopefully you will get what you would like out of the retirement tour that John Cena gets to face Edge. I'm just happy that Brock Lesnar returned and demolished him at the last pay-per-view last weekend, which was fantastic.
Crikey, yeah.
Which was best for business. We all want to see that. And maybe we might get this one guy back as well. The one and only, you're fired! May come back as well.
Well, it's left to be seen, the crazy world of wrestling, these things happen.
Yes.
They do certainly have great impression, by the way.
Oh,
Crikey.
thank you very much. That's
Wow.
that's the only thing I can do, unfortunately. And then I've been able to do it for years, and then of course after he stepped down, retired, came out of retirement, retired again, and is now new business, whatever he wants to do. It's not been the same, and I'm not going to do it as regular as I could do 5 years ago, for instance, or 4 years ago. So it might be a bit rusty, but I try my best to break it out every now and then to say that if you need to do
That's with a cold as well. So imagine when you're 100% good health,
Yes.
How good your impression is. That's very good.
Well, I am.
Fair
Well,
play
there
to
is a
you.
clip on social media of me doing that. So when I am 100% healthy, so do check it out. As
I
well
will. I'll go out my way to find that. Yeah, I'll have a look.
Yes, it'll be on. It'll be on. It's on YouTube, Instagram, or Facebook. You should be able to find it on those platforms. My impersonation of that, "You're Fired" as well. But no, it's been a treat, and again, thank you so much for your time, and I wish you the best of luck for your performance this
Thank you.
evening and for the rest of your time in Mallorca until, of course, November. And as well, for everyone who's watching this, thank you so much for watching or listening to this, where you'll get your podcast, because, of course, you can find this podcast on any audio platforms, including Apple Podcasts, Spotify, Amazon Music, iHeartRadio, as well as Amazon Music as well. We've got to give that a shout out. And wherever else you get your podcast, because you can pretty much find us on any major platforms, including YouTube as well, obviously, if you're watching this live right now. And
Wow,
see,
you're everywhere.
yeah, it's everywhere. You know,
Mr.
it's
Worldwide.
worldwide indeed. And we do get people listening to the show
Brilliant.
now. I've had somebody follow me on Instagram saying, and I asked them, well, how do you come across this show? Thinking YouTube or social media, but no, they said for the audio platform to go. Right, I didn't know anybody listened to it on the audio platforms.
There you go.
Emma says, have a good evening at work. George, see you soon. So you should see
Thank you
Emma
very
in the
much,
near
Emma. I'll
future.
see you soon.
Yeah. If you enjoyed the conversation and want to see more of my fantastic content, make sure to smash that like button, share the video around, tell everybody about George, tell about his performances, about how much he should get into pro wrestling, perhaps, how he should, travel around the UK and go wider afield, maybe go and perform in the USA, for instance, and check him out in his new, his new project when you're going to bring comedy and singing together in a mashup as well. Make sure you talk all about that. Make sure to as well smash that subscribe button. It takes 10 seconds or less. It's a free donation to me. You don't have to pay to subscribe to this channel. It's a free donation to me to help me to grow here on YouTube, because we're approaching 350 subscribers now. So if you can and want to support this channel, please do so and help me to get to 400 subscribers. And until the next episode, whenever there may be one, enjoy the rest of your afternoon or evening.